Hello students, how are you? You are all fine. I think you are all fine. So, ரெண்டு லெசன் முடிச்சிட்டேன். ரெண்டு யூனிட் லெசன் முடிச்சாச்சு. யூனிட் 1 மெட்டலர்ஜி முடிச்சாச்சு. யூனிட் 5 கோஆர்டினேஷன் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி முடிச்சாச்சு. So today's class we shall see unit 6 solid state. சரியா? So introduction part பார்க்கலாம். Matter generally exists in three different physical states. They are solid, liquid and gas. So as you know, the matter this you have studied in the lower class. Matter exists in three states which are called as solid, liquid and gas. So solid differ from liquids by possessing a definite volume and shape. So solid they differ from liquids always by possessing definite volume and definite shape. So example, solid are diamond, metal, plastic. You know more examples for solid. So main examples are diamond, metal and plastics. So where atoms and molecules they are tightly held in an orderly arrangement. So in all solids, the atoms, molecules or the ions they are tightly held in an orderly arrangement. So this is the introduction part for solid state. So you know matter exists in three states which include solid, liquid and gas. So today's class we are going to see about so we shall see the general characteristics of solids. Solids have definite volume and shape. They are rigid and incompressible. So rigid is nothing but they have a definite shape and they have a particular volume or definite volume, and even when you apply a pressure the shape of the particular solid will not be changed. So that is called as incompressibility. So solids they have definite volume and shape, they are rigid and incompressible, they have a strong cohesive force. Their attractive force present are found to be cohesive in nature. They have short interatomic, ionic or molecular distance. So the atoms, ions or molecules they occupy a fixed shape space in solids. So all the solids they have the atoms present in all the solids they occupy a fixed space. So now we have seen the general characteristics of solids. Now we shall see the types of solids. First one is crystalline solid. Second one is amorphous solid. So crystalline solids are those solids where the atoms, ions and molecules they are arranged in a long range manner. So the atoms, ions they are arranged in a long range orderly arrangement. Whereas in amorphous solid there are two types of solids. So already we have seen crystalline solid, amorphous solid. We shall see the difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. So in crystalline solid the atoms, molecules or ions they are arranged in a long range manner. Whereas in amorphous solids the atoms, ions or molecules they are arranged in a short range. So there will be random arrangement. So it will not be closely packed or tightly packed. Atoms, ions or molecules will not be closely packed because there is a space between each atom, ion or molecule in the case of amorphous solid. But in crystalline solid the atoms, ions they are tightly packed where there is a long range orderly arrangement. Here in amorphous solid the arrangement of atoms, ions are in a short range. So there will be some space in between the atoms, ions or molecule in amorphous solid. So crystalline solid always have a definite shape, whereas amorphous solid has irregular shape. So next one is third property of crystalline solid is crystalline solids are anisotropic. Anisotropic is nothing but that is atoms, ions and molecules they are not arranged in that is the main physical properties. So physical properties they are not arranged in the same direction. So each of the physical property in a particular material or matter they are arranged in all direction. That is called as anisotropic. The physical property in chalumbodu you can say refractive index, that is electrical conductivity. So electrical conductivity it will conduct any substance which conducts electricity is said to possess conductivity. So that is called conductivity. Since it conducts electric current it is called electrical conductivity. So anisotropy is a property where the material has different physical properties in different directions. So here in isotropic, amorphous solids are isotropic where the constituents or we can say atoms, ions or molecules are the physical properties, mainly the physical properties they are arranged in same direction. So they have identical physical properties in all directions. whereas anisotropy is a property where the identical physical property, the physical properties, they differ in different directions. So they differ in the physical properties. Yeah. So anisotropy is a process where the material or the solid has the physical properties same, does not have the same physical property, and the physical properties, they are found to be placed in different direction. But in isotropy, same identical physical properties are being arranged in all directions. So that is called as isotropy. So crystalline solids, both differences, they are true solids, whereas amorphous solid are pseudo solid. So true solids are nothing but they have a definite melting point. So true solids always have a definite melting point. They melt, the solid will melt only at a definite range of temperature. Whereas amorphous solid is one which are called pseudo solid or super cool liquids. So here super cool liquids are nothing but they melt only at a particular temperature, and they have a tendency to flow very slowly. So when you pour the particular super cool liquid, they flow very slowly even at room temperature. So liquids which flow very slowly even at room temperature, they are called as super cool liquids. So yeah, so another name is pseudo solid. So amorphous solid are pseudo solid are super cool liquids. So fifth difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid is they have sharp melting point, whereas amorphous solid, they soften over a range of temperature and can be molded. So they melt only at a particular temperature, that is called soften, which can be molded into a desired shape. So sixth difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid is they have definite heat of fusion, whereas heat of fusion is not definite in amorphous solid. So example for crystalline solid is sodium chloride diamond, whereas here it is rubber and plastic. Rubber, plastic, glass, they are example for amorphous solid. So difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid is an important 3-mark question. So it may be asked even in 5 marks. So I want you to study all the 6 difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. So next we shall see what is isotropy. So isotropy is a process, already I have told, it is a process where the material has identical values of physical properties in all directions. They have identical values of physical properties. So physical property, already I have told, refractive index, electric conductivity, they are all the physical properties which have the same values in all directions, whereas anisotropy is the one where the solid show different values of physical properties in different directions. So already I have told you what is isotropy and anisotropy. So isotropy is where there is a material or the solid will have identical value of physical properties like refractive index and electric conductance in all directions. But anisotropy is a process where the solid show different values of physical properties in different direction. So next we shall see the classification of crystalline solids. So first one is ionic solid. So ionic solid, it contains both cations and anions. So it contains both the ions which include cation and anion. The cations and anions, they are bound together by strong electrostatic attractive force. So they are held together by strong attractive forces. Electrostatic attractive forces. So here the cations are surrounded by many anions, and in turn vice versa, in turn many anions are surrounded by cations. So ionic crystals, they possess definite crystal structure, and many of the solids are cubic closed pack. So cubic closed pack is nothing but the arrangement of the atoms and ions inside the cube will be very close, tightly packed. So that is called as cubic closed pack. So it occurs in the cube. So it is called as arrangement of the atoms, ions. They are all found to be very close packed, which occurs inside the cube, and so it is called as cubic closed pack. So ionic crystals are cubic closed pack. So example is arrangement of sodium and chloride ions in sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is one of the example of ionic solids. So now we shall see the characteristics of ionic solids. Ionic solids have high melting point. They do not conduct electricity because the ions are fixed in their lattice position. So lattice is nothing but the space which is present inside the cubic structure, and each point inside the cubic structure is called as the lattice point. So ionic solids, they have high melting point. They do not conduct electricity as ions are fixed in the lattice position. They conduct electricity in molten state. So molten state is nothing but it will be in the semi-solid form, and or when dissolved in water, because the ions are free to move in molten state. So the as soon as a solid becomes starts to melt, it becomes the atoms and ions, they are free to move in the solid. So that is called as molten state. So the conversion of solid into liquid, that is the molten state. So they conduct electricity in molten state, or when they are solid is dissolved in water, the ions are free to move in molten state. So the ionic solids, they conduct electricity in molten state or when dissolved in water. And ionic crystals are very hard such that the external force can change the position of the ions. So ionic crystals are always very hard because the external force which is applied will change the position of the movement of free ions. So these are the 4 important characteristics of ionic solids. So second type of solid is covalent solid. So in covalent solids, the atoms are bound together by 3-dimensional network of covalent bond. And the ionic bonds, they are being strongly held by electrostatic force of attraction. In covalent solids, the atoms are bound together in a 3-dimensional network by covalent bond. So one of them, example for ionic solid is sodium chloride. Important example for covalent solid is diamond, silicon carbide. So these are all examples for diamond, silicon carbide. They are example for covalent solids. These solids, they are very hard and they possess high melting point. So covalent solids are also very strong and they possess very high melting point. They are usually poor thermal and electrical conductors. So all the covalent solids are poor thermal and electrical conductors. So easily the thermal is nothing but heat. So they easily do not conduct heat and electricity. So third type of solid classification of solid is molecular solid. So in this solid, atoms, molecules and ion, they are neutral molecules which are held together by weak van der Waals forces. So here the molecular solids, in molecular solids, the atoms, ions or molecules, they are held together by weak van der Waals forces. So molecular solids are very soft and they do not conduct electricity. So these molecular solids, they are further classified into non-polar molecular solids, polar molecular solids and hydrogen bonded molecular solids. So molecular solids are further classified into 3 types: non-polar molecular solid, polar molecular solid and hydrogen bonded molecular solid. So we have seen 3 types of solids. One is ionic solid, second one is covalent solid and third one is molecular solids. Molecular solid is classified into further 3 types. So now we are going to see the classification of molecular solids. We shall see the classification of first type of molecular solid. First one is non-polar molecular solid. So in non-polar molecular solid, the constituents, so constituents they are atoms, ions or molecules. So the constituents are nothing but atoms, ions or molecules which are held together by weak dispersion forces or London forces. So London forces are nothing but they are the weak dispersion forces. So since it was discovered by the scientist called London, it is called as London force. So their molecules, ions are all the constituents which include atoms, ions or molecules are held together by dispersion force or London force which have, and these non-polar molecular solids have low melting point and they are usually in liquid or gaseous state in room temperature. So they are all non-polar molecular solids are low melting liquids. They are low melting solids which are usually in liquid form or gas form at room temperature. So example for non-polar molecular solid is naphthalene, anthracene. So this may be asked for one word. An example for non-molecular solid கொடுத்து கேட்கலாம் சரியா. So example for non-molecular solid is naphthalene and anthracene. So next, second classification of molecular solid is polar molecular solid. So in polar molecular solid, the atoms, ions, constituents atoms, ions or molecules, they are formed by polar covalent bond which are held together by dipole-dipole interaction. So the interaction that occurs between the atom, ion or molecule, they are called as strong dipole-dipole interaction. So polar molecular solid, they are also having high melting point than when compared to non-polar molecular solid. So example for polar molecular solid is solid carbon dioxide and solid ammonia. So these are the examples for polar molecular solid. Third type of molecular solid is hydrogen bonded molecular solid. So in this solid, the constituents, atoms, ions and molecules, they are held together by hydrogen bonds. They are generally soft solids under room temperature. They are all They are found to be hydrogen bonded, and they are all soft solids which exist at room temperature. So example for hydrogen bonded molecular solid is solid ice, glucose, urea. So these are the three examples for hydrogen bonded molecular solid: solid ice, glucose, urea. So yeah, so one time it was asked, explain the types of molecular solids. So explain the types of molecular solids. So you have to write non-polar molecular solid, polar molecular solid, and hydrogen bonded molecular solid. It is also one of the important 3-mark question. So now we shall see in detail about the third classification of solid, which is called as metallic solid. So first we have seen ionic solids, secondly we have seen covalent solids, thirdly we have seen molecular solids and their types, and next type of solid is metallic solids. So in metallic solid, the lattice points are occupied by metal ions and a cloud of electrons. So metal ions, they are surrounded by a negatively charged electrons. So the lattice point, each the atom and ion, they are all occupying a particular space inside a particular crystal structure. So that points they are called as lattice points. So lattice points, they are occupied by metal ions and a cloud of electrons, and these metallic solids are very hard and have high melting point. They also possess electrical and thermal conductivity, and they possess bright luster. Luster is nothing but they are possess very shining surface. The surface of the particular metallic solid will be it has a shiny appearance. So it is called as bright luster. So metallic solids, they have a bright luster. Example is copper, iron, zinc and silver. Yeah. So far we have seen that classification of solids. Yeah. So we have seen the type of solids, type of molecular solids. So far we have seen the different types of solids. So now we are going to see about the crystal lattice and the unit cell. So the arrangement of atoms and molecules or ion uniformly throughout the crystal is called crystal lattice. So the ions, atoms, they are all being arranged inside the particular crystal structure, which is called as crystal lattice. So this repeating structural unit of the crystalline solid is called a unit cell. When the crystal lattice, when the arrangement of the atoms or molecules in the crystal lattice is being repeated around the inside the crystalline solid, that particular unit is called as unit cell. So regular arrangement of atoms, molecules or ions throughout the crystal is called as crystal lattice. So the basic repeating structural unit in the crystalline solid is called as unit cell. So there are two types of unit cell. One is primitive and another one is non-primitive unit cell. One is primitive and another one is non-primitive unit cell. So unit cell which contains only one lattice point is called primitive unit cell. So yeah, primitive unit cell, it will contain only one particular lattice point. So one lattice point na enna artham, ஒரு crystalline solid ஒரு இடத்துல மட்டும் இந்த யூனிட் செல்ல atoms, ions, molecules இருந்தா அந்த particular part of the crystal structure is called as primitive unit cell. So unit cell is a basic structural repeating unit of crystalline solid, and this unit cell which contains only one lattice point is called primitive unit cell. So in non-primitive unit cell, there are additional lattice points either on the face of the unit cell or within the unit cell. So this may be you may be asked, what is main question is what is crystal lattice? Define unit cell. Define unit cell, very important 2-mark question. Define crystal lattice and unit cell, important 2-mark question. So two types of unit cell is primitive and non-primitive unit cell. In primitive unit cell, there is only one lattice point, whereas in non-primitive unit cell there are additional lattice points either on the face of the unit cell or within the unit cell. So in general there are 7 primitive crystal system. So one is cubic. So 7 primitive crystal system are cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic. So there are 7 primitive crystal systems. They are cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, monoclinic, triclinic and rhombohedral. So these are 7 primitive unit cell. There are 7 types of unit cell. So correspond to the 7 primitive unit cell, Bravis. So another scientist named Bravis, he defined 14 possible crystal systems that differ in the arrangement of axes and angles. First one is cubic, second one is rhombohedral, third one is triclinic, fourth one is hexagonal, fifth one is tetragonal, sixth one is orthorhombic, and seventh one is monoclinic. These are the 7 types of primitive unit cell where the A, B, C they represent the axis within the crystal structure, and alpha, beta, gamma they represent the different angles that occur within the primitive unit cell. சரியா? A, B, C is different axis which is present, and alpha, beta, gamma they represent the different angles present in the cubic structure. So now we shall see the number of atoms in the cubic unit cell. First one is simple cubic unit cell. In simple cubic unit cell, each corner is occupied by identical atoms or ions or molecules. So here each corner of the crystal structure is occupied, cube is occupied by identical atoms, ions or molecules, where the coordination number of each atom is 6. So each atom in the corner of the cubic unit cell is shared by 8 neighboring unit cell. So as you know the cubic structure. So you know the cubic structure. So in each corner of the cubic unit cell there are 8 neighboring unit cell, where the atoms in the unit cell is a simple cube is Nc by 8. Nc represent number of atoms in the cube divided by 8. So number of atoms shared. So Nc represent number of atoms present in the cubic structure or corner of the particular cube. Number of atoms in the corner of the cube divided by number of unit cell which is being shared, which is equal to number of unit cell shared is 8. So 8, when you divide 8 by 8 you will be getting 1. So in simple cubic unit cell, each corner is occupied by identical atoms or ions or molecules, where the coordination number of each atom is 6. So each atom in the corner of the cubic unit cell shared by 8 neighboring unit, and so the number of atoms present in the simple cube per unit cell is 8 by 8, which is equal to 1. So it is an important one word. Number of atoms present in the unit cell of the simple cube, answer 1. So in body centered cube there are 3 types of cube. One is simple cube, second one is body centered cube. So in body centered cube, each corner is occupied by identical atoms or ions. So in addition, there will be one atom which occupies the center of the body centered cube. அப்போ 8 atom இருக்கும் cornerல, அப்புறம் நடு சென்டர்ல ஒரு atom இருக்கும். So each atom is surrounded by 8 nearest neighbor, where the coordination number is 8. So number of atoms present in BCC என்னது body centered cube unit cell is, so cornerல உள்ளது வந்து 8. சரியா? Number of atoms present in the body centered cube, central ஒரு atom இருக்கும்ல, அது வந்து 1. So when you divide 8 by 8 plus 1 by 1, answer will be 2. So number of atoms present in the unit cell of a body centered cube is 2. So this is also another important one. So there are 3 types of cubic structure. One is simple cube, body centered cube. Third type is face centered cube. So in face centered cubic unit cell, identical atoms they lie at each corner as well as at the center of the face. அங்க வந்து பாடியில ஒரு atom இருக்கும், அது பேரு இங்க வந்து சென்டர்ல இருக்கும். So the atoms in the face center which are shared by 2 unit cell. So unit cell represent, it is a repeating structure of the crystal lattice. So that is called the unit cell. So the number of atoms present in the face centered cube which are shared by 2 unit cell, as they are shared by 2 unit cell. So in general, the number of atoms in face centered cube unit cell equal to number of atoms present in the corner, number of atoms present in the face divided by 2. So it is shared by 2 unit cells. So you are dividing by 2. So 8 by 8 plus, here there are, so remaining will be 6. So remaining atoms will be 6. So when you divide 6 by 2, you will be getting 4. So here 8 atoms at the corner. So remaining will be the, that is remaining will be, the atoms in the face center they are shared by 2 atoms. So identical atoms lie at each corner as well as at the center of each face. So corner liye enna irukum, identical atoms irukum, face liye irukum. Appo adha you have to divide by 2. So totally 6 by 2 when you divide you will be getting 4. So I hope you understood all the topics what I have taught now in solid state. So solid state is lesson number 6. So far we have seen the important topics, types of solids, what is isotropy, anisotropy, types of molecular solids we have seen, and next we have seen what is unit cell, what is a crystal lattice, and the total number of atoms present in the unit cell we have seen. So in the next video lesson I will be taking class for the remaining topics. So study the. So I will send you the important question in the next video lesson. Yes, I want you to go through the video lesson today for the lesson solid state. Thank you.